In the first scene, a scientist is in the middle of an experiment when he absorbs an odd technology into his body and then experiences a dramatic transformation that results in his eyes turning blue. The action then shifts to Lang Jun, a young delivery worker who is working the night shift. He finds out about the mysterious disappearance of Yang Xiaochuan, a former archer, while driving through Xinji City. It turns out to be the city's fifth mysterious disappearance that month. At that moment, Lang Jun gets a call from Zong, his uncle, wishing him a happy birthday. In addition, he informs him about the little cake he put outside the door of his apartment. Lang Jun finds an overturned truck in the middle of the deserted highway shortly after that. He dashes from his car and heads to see whether anyone is still alive. He discovers an unconscious man whose veins are clearly going black in the rear of the vehicle. When Lang Jun goes to ask for assistance, the man instantly transforms as the same unidentified item from the previous scene is inserted into his body. A little while later, an armed squad from the covert research group Sinulian arrives on the site. Under the direction of a female captain, the group sets out to capture the Lang Jun who is changing. But before long, he transforms into a massive werewolf and begins to attack them. The group fires at the creature, but it appears that the standard bullets have no impact on him. Once all of the gang members have been eliminated, the werewolf leaps for the captain. She fires an obstructing bullet just in time to take him out. The werewolf seems to be affected by this, but not enough for it to stop him from jumping into the sea and running away. In a much weaker state, Lang Jun swims out of the water the following morning and returns home. He appears to have been hungry for days because he begins eating as soon as he gets there. But soon after he starts to feel queasy, which causes him to throw up. He is shocked to see a werewolf reflection in the mirror when he looks in it as well. He climbs into the bathtub and drifts off to sleep in an attempt to become clean. When he wakes up, he observes a change in himself. He can hear the TV news playing at a nearby house, which suggests that his listening skills have much improved. Lang Jun encounters consequences at work later that day for leaving the delivery truck in the middle of the road. The boss suddenly launches a can bottle at him, but Lang Jun dodges it with unprecedented strength and speed, even breaking through a wall. Then he leaves the office, not wanting to make any more scenes. Later, while Lang Jun is walking down the street, he sees a small girl crossing the street. He utilizes his newly acquired agility to save her as she nearly gets hit by a speeding truck. At that moment, he spots a stain on the girl's clothing, which reminds him of something that happened when he was younger. It seems that he was being harassed by some boys until Chao Yu, his female companion, stepped in and repelled them. This memory prompts him to go see Chao Yu, who is now an accomplished boxer. When Lang Jun arrives at the boxing arena, she is in the middle of a battle. Chao Yu effortlessly defeats her opponent, demonstrating her strength and prowess as a boxer. However, the irritated opponent strikes her from behind while she is enjoying her win. She almost falls out of the ring, but Lang Jun grabs her and holds her. When the owner of the boxing gym's son witnesses his valiant rescue, Wu Neng challenges him to a boxing match, which he accepts. But Lang Jun, not being an experienced player, is immediately taken out. Lang Jun is being closely observed by Xiao Yong, the captain and her chief, from his monitor. They reveal to us throughout their talk that the scientist shown at the start of the film is actually Lang Jun's father. Since Lang Jun represents their best opportunity for a successful experiment, Xiao Yong gives her the order to apprehend him. When Lang Jun regains consciousness in the following scene, he finds himself at Chao Yu's residence. He sees a bandage with a Sinulian symbol on her cheek when she appears. As they talk, she gives him a photo of her brother, who has been missing for a few days for an unexplained reason. Lang Jun recognizes the man in the photo as the same one he had earlier seen behind the crashed truck. This lets them know that Sinulian is now in charge of her brother. Before they can organize a rescue, Lang Jun detects the Sinulian gang members approaching the residence. Consequently, the pair swiftly flees via the rear entrance. After hiding beneath the attacker's car, they attach a tracking device on their vehicle. Chao Yu questions why the group is pursuing them after they leave. Lang Jun responds by telling her that they are following him because they desire the strange gadget that is presently encased in his body. Additionally, he surmises that her father may be involved in all of this, which is why Lang Jun chooses to meet Uncle Zong, his father's closest friend. After that, he goes to a hospital where Uncle Zong is employed as a biochemist. He sees people fleeing the building as soon as he gets there, because there is a fire in the biochemistry lab. When Lang Jun goes to the lab out of concern for his uncle's safety, he finds him unconscious on his table. Quickly assisting him to leave the lab, he successfully keeps him safe. Lang Jun asks the uncle about Sinulian after he wakes up, but he acts as though he doesn't know. Later, Lang Jun feels a presence following him as he makes his way back home. He waits for the ideal opportunity to capture the pursuer, who is Wu Neng. He brings him to Chao Yu's residence, so that additional questioning might take place. Then Wu Neng discloses that he is a hacker seeking to obtain additional data about Sinulian. He continues by sharing all of his knowledge of this enigmatic group. It turns out that Sinulian is dealing in high-risk illicit chemicals chemical weapons with some foreign military group in addition to operating an offshore oil company. He also reveals that Lang Jun's Uncle Zong and his father had formerly worked for the same company, which was mostly involved in cross-device genetic research. Wu Neng claims that before somebody disappears, they are all given the chance to play a game. When Chao Yu hears this, she affirms that her brother was given the same deal. The following day, Lang Jun approaches Chao Yu when she is by herself on the beach. She tells him how her brother put a lot of effort into covering her boxing bills. She also thinks that he accepted Sun Yulian's financial offer. Lang Jun comforts her in return, telling her that he will bring her brother back. The two pals are stopped by Xiao Yong and his goons while they are making their way back home later that evening. They threaten to shoot Chao Yu if he doesn't accompany them. Regarding her security, Lang Jun consents to accompany them. However, Chao Yu is unable to give up easy, so she begins to pursue their cars. By taking an alternate route, she is able to catch up to Lang Jun's car. She then battles the guards using her boxing skills before leaving with her companion in the car. After that, the two go to Uncle Zong's lab in search of clarification. On this occasion, Uncle Zong at last acknowledges that he and Lang Jun's father were once employed by Sun Yulian. He describes their genetic research in detail, describing how they use human-compatible genes from wild wolves to produce a unique material called palisai. This stuff has the power to alter human DNA and treat any illness. However, once Lang Jun's mother passed away, his father's depression made him desire to stop working. Sun Yulian nevertheless had him work against his will and even imprisoned him in a laboratory. He tragically perished when the lab caught fire one unlucky day. After learning of this, Lang Jun becomes enraged and swears to exact revenge on those who killed his father. Uncle Zong attempts to talk him out of it, saying Sun Yulian is too strong. Uncle Zong's chat is abruptly cut off as the Sun Yulian gang barges in and quickly snatches his rifle. Raging to the core of his being, Lang Jun turns into a werewolf and fights the miscreants. In the middle of all this chaos, the captain shoots him with an inhibitor, returning him to normal. Before they can reach him, Chao Yu forces Lang Jun out the window and engages in combat with the attackers, giving him enough time to escape. At that moment, Wu Neng appears and chases Lang Jun out of the frame. Lang Jun laments the death of his loved ones as he sits by himself on the beach that evening. He also glances at the necklace his father gave him, which has a photo of him and his father in it. Wu Neng surmises later that Lang Jun's locket holds a key when he shows it to him. Wu Neng discovers after some time of in-depth investigation that the symbol on the locket is a map that leads to a hidden destination. Consequently, the two depart for the designated site, which turns out to be an abandoned flat. As they make their way to the basement, they discover a lot of werewolf scratches. While investigating the area, Lang Jun finds a locked luggage concealed in a wardrobe. Upon opening it with his locket as a key, he discovers a tape recorder within. When he plays it, he hears his father telling the story of how he came up with his unique medication that was meant to help his sick mother. He began the experiment on himself in the first place and had numerous adverse outcomes. He therefore began working on refining it, but before he could complete it, his mother passed away from illness. Following that, Sun Yulian took the medicine from him and used it as a deadly weapon, killing multiple people. He made every attempt, but was unable to stop the company's illegal operations. He therefore begs Lang Jun to finish the task he started. However, when Xiao Yong and his group explore Uncle Zong's lab, they discover the same unique medication that Lang Jun's father had developed. As Xiao Yong is staring at it, a surprise adversary who cannot be seen attacks and kills him. In the following scene, Wu Neng and Lang Jun locate the heavily guarded Sun Yulian headquarters, which are housed in a shipyard. Wu Neng breaks into the area's map and finds a hidden air duct passageway that can be used for infiltration. Meanwhile, Chao Yu is imprisoned in a cell inside the headquarters. She can hear her brother's voice from the other cell while she is confined. Through a little glass window, she quickly glances outside and sees her frail brother. She encourages him to maintain his strength by telling him that Lang Jun will arrive to save them. Lang Jun and Wu Neng enter the headquarters through the air duct after a little period of time. They are assaulted by a bunch of guards as soon as they jump out of the duct, but they cannot compete with the strong Lang Jun. He defeats each guard in turn by using his werewolf abilities. After that, Wu Neng travels in search of the information required to reveal Sun Yulian's illicit actions, and Lang Jun departs in pursuit of Chao Yu. Lang Jun arrives at Chao Yu's cell shortly after, but he lacks the keys to unlock it. Uncle Zong, who is amazingly still alive, approaches him while he is looking for the same. He says he was rejuvenated by using palisai. A video of an earlier altercation between Uncle Zong and Lang Jun's father appears on a monitor as they are speaking. It becomes clear that Lang Jun's father was against Uncle Zong's idea to work with other corporate employees to develop chemical weapons. Uncle Zong locked Lang Jun's father in the lab out of rage, leaving him there to burn to death. Lang Jun realizes that Uncle Zong is the mastermind behind everything after learning this information. Uncle Zong, who has finally come clean, attacks him by changing into a massive werewolf, and Lang Jun follows suit. Subsequently, the two werewolves fight intensely against one another, with Uncle Zong showing more strength. When they fight, Wu Neng brings the key to Chao Yu's cell and frees both her and her brother. Chao Yu gives her brother a heartfelt hug before telling him to leave, choosing instead to go assist Lang Jun. Then, with courage, she leaps on Uncle Zong and puts a tight rope around his neck. Taking advantage of the situation, Lang Jun pulls the rope and suspends him in midair. After that, Chao Yu takes hold of an electric cable and electrocutes the villain, ultimately leading to his downfall. Lang Jun can be seen reading The War of Werewolf in the last scene. Meanwhile, the public is eventually made aware of Sinulian's illegal operations when a news story declares that all missing people have been found.